and my entire series of family, because the 20 and 30-year-olds were listening to it and saying, you got to get all these shots. So all of my cousins and the cousins at the next level under me all went and got all the shots, all the boosters, and had to wear masks in front of their grandchildren. Their grandchildren didn't see their face the first year and a half of the year.
Sheila, it's always a pleasure and an honor to have you on your wealth of information. It's Veterans Day. It's perfect that we're going live together because you honor veterans so much. We all appreciate
always
that.
A little COVID, you could take the whole state, and there aren't the worry that.
Sheila, it's always a pleasure and an honor to have you on your wealth of information. It's Veterans Day. It's perfect that we're going live together because you honor veterans so much. We all appreciate that. So thank you so much for your service and supporting and helping veterans.
It's such an honor, and such an honor to be on with you on this day. 11/11. 11 means war. We could go into that too. Yeah, the Warriors Battlefield Strategy Devotional. And everybody said, why did you put the word strategy? That's not the right word. I said, well, Father gave it to me, because if we don't know how to strategize with him, we're going to be in deep trouble. And so when he gives it to me, he gives it to me. And that's the way it is. So.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I've been using this. It's a fantastic book, and it gives me a lot of insights, and I appreciate what you've done with that.
Well, it's funny because it's all Hebrew. So when I did the new book and you told me about the Hebrew calendar problems, it has problems, but the Gregorian has so many problems. And he said, that's why I did that with you in the devotional. I'm like, well, what did I do in Hebrew in the devotional? And he had to remind me, we only did 1 through 7 more than 52 times, but we can't do a 13-month calendar of 4 weeks of 28. None of that works. So I'm working on combining, and our good friend, I gave him stacks of information on all this to put it through his mind. It's just let him put it through his meat grinder and sift it all out and see what happens. But what I gave to him is because I'm not trying to choose, but I don't want to be on a calendar with names of gods and goddesses for the months and the days of the week. I don't want to be living there, because that keeps us stuck where we are. It's just like that 1607. I've been going over the 1607 covenant because people think that's better than the Pilgrims, but the Pilgrims knew we had to get away from England. And Americans never knew we were never away from England the whole time until President Trump in 2017, which he reconfirmed in September when he went there. So if we don't understand how to come out of the mess and help each other come out of the mess, and unity is what you focus on all the time, we don't have a prayer, because this evil has been so organized, and they keep thinking that it's just a few of the past presidents. So we can get into that today if you want to, because nobody realizes 41 wasn't able to be a candidate. 42 is questionable about his father. Was he able to be a candidate for president? 43, son of 41, wasn't qualified. Jeb Brand too, he wouldn't have been qualified. So it's not just Obama. The takeover of America, this evil, guys, it goes all the way back to the very beginning of the world. It goes all the way back to the garden. And we haven't had people go, why didn't this get cleaned up before? When did we have this level of communication, this level of technology, this level of, and yes, the Aztecs and Mayans had some kind of computer process. I get it. I hear that all the time, but they didn't have the communication process. They didn't have the ability to get together with each other like we are, and fighting through this. I mean, what you've been through, taken off of this platform, taken off of that platform, deplatformed here and there. It's like a whack-a-mole game that we've been living in. So I'm so excited each time we come on together, and the feedback on these interviews is just so powerful, Michael, and I'm so excited that book is a blessing to you.
Really is.
General Flynn, it was Nation Restoration. He wanted the second edition. I'm going to try and get it out this year, but I don't know if I can get it done by the end of the year, but I'm working on that. But it is such an honor to me that someone like you, who's fought this hard for our country, gets that much out of that Warriors battlefield, because we are on the battlefield and acting like we're not. That's where we are.
Yeah, what I like about it is, there's something new every day that you read, and then you write down your insights and what you've gained and so forth. And it's an ongoing process. So you start to look deeper inside yourself that in ways that, I thought I was already, well informed as far as like my internal workings, but this has really opened me up in a lot of different ways. So yeah, I definitely appreciate it. So we have Ma'am Donnie that's taken over New York, or will, I guess, January 1st, maybe. I don't know. There's seems to be a big movement to restrict him from actually getting there. You,
And I wrote him a text the next day and I said, "Sir, you are one of the few people who, when I tell you a very complex situation, you don't even have to think about it. You pierce in like a laser beam and tell me the bottom root of it. And if I would just focus there, I'd have my answer." And I'm like, "Yeah, I could do that." You know what? You notice this about him. I mean, he doesn't even give it a second thought. His mind just goes through all this complex stuff I give him. In fact, things were so heavy on I'm trying to do one calendar. And when he realized God gave me part of it in the trumpet call, and that was the first phase, and then he gave me in the letter in this one with the new one with the two calendars. And then after he did that, he showed me how it's 40 days until this 25 of Shizvan, and then it's 40 days to this one, 25 of Kislev. That's why they use 25 against us. And I'm sharing him this whole thing. And I said, but we got to change so everybody can come onto one calendar. And I'm texting him and I said, you know what, sir, there's so much to this. If we could just do a quick call, because I just want to make sure this is understandable what I'm trying to tell you. And so if there's a time for a call, and he wrote back in caps, sure. And so I called him and he goes, so where are you? And I said, Georgia. And he goes, well, I'm over in South Carolina. And I said, well, where are you? And he gave me a town. I said, sir, I don't know South Carolina, but I'm about an hour and a half west of Columbia. And he goes, well, I'm only 30 minutes from there. So let me see. And it was like a 15-second brief hesitation view of his calendar. And it was like 2 something in the afternoon. And he goes, okay, I can get done with everything and get to your door at exactly 6 o'clock. I'm like, okay. And he said, I'm going to pick you up and we're going to go to dinner and we'll talk about this stuff over dinner. I said,
wow,
okay. And it's like that. Do you know what I mean?
that's
That's the
incredible.
second, that's the second time he's done that. He did that when I invited him to that guy that was writing the software to clean up voter registration.
Yeah.
And I told him when he was talking to the guy, I said, you know what, sir, I really don't think we can clean it up. Is there's so much illegal.
Hmm.
You got to run. Your producer's calling you. She's made dinner.
Oh no, I
Um,
was looking for this card. I have this couple that's in Mount Shasta,
oh,
and they did away with the Dominion voting machine, and
yeah.
are you familiar with them?
No, but
But they did away with
everybody
it.
has to. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have him on my show. I saw him at Lewis Herms is running for governor of California, and
Uh-huh.
it's funny because Juan was just on the show. He's laughing because he says Gavin Newsom is going to like own all the destruction that's coming for California because the bonds are basically going to crumble, and same thing with New York, and they're going to need the federal government to come in, and Trump's not going to help them. And it's like, I said, wow. But anyway, there was this couple there that spoke for about 10 minutes, and I spoke too. And so we got together, and so they're going to come on my show and tell me how they got rid of Dominion voting machine and how they have paper ballots and how this recent Prop 50 voting that they did, where within a second of it going live where they counted the numbers. They came out with 66.6 people had voted for the prop. Uh, like, wow. So in Shasta County, there was like 70 something, 70% of people said no
Yeah.
because they had a paper ballot. So
Uh-huh.
every place in the United States needs to get this so we can overcome this cheating. They are going to talk about how they overcame that and how they can. It's easy to go to paper ballots.
Hmm.
Everybody comes in, everybody votes, they have a count. Everyone, they look at that. You're registered, and they have everything's numbered, and there's no way there's gonna be cheating. There's no cheating, and they got it done. They had it done the same day, and it was all done. Just like Juan's been saying, it has to be same day. And I'm like, I don't know. But this couple did it. They did it for
Mhm.
Shasta County. They have, I
Yep.
don't know, 10,000 something people, and they all, and
Mhm.
so they came in and voted, and it was done in one day. So I was like,
Yep.
wow,
And that's what we did originally, and we can do it again. We can
yes,
do it again.
yes. So
Now,
they're gonna
this
come
whole
on. We're gonna like
thing,
blast that everywhere. So it's gonna be good.
now I think this whole thing in California, I think it's all, to me, is part of the plan because it's a ridiculous thing to only change your congressional districts for the elections to get rid of Trump and all of his people for 26, 28, and 30 to see what they're doing. And then in 31, we'll bring it back. But it's going to cost a few million to do it in each county after you just spent 260 million because we have 9 election languages, I think. And so all of this had to be in all the languages. It had to be in all of this stuff. And did you know you can't even get a county guide anymore to elections because they've got districts crisscrossing across counties on purpose? You see, all of this is such a mess because none of this is according to the way it should be. So I think that was part of it. And Newsom is in such trouble. Did he tell you about the bond stuff in California?
Yeah,
He was already working on the school bonds. And then remember when Palisades happened, I found out he was there. One of my followers owns the municipality water district over in Riverside, which is just to the side of Los Angeles County, is San Bernardino Riverside. And they've got this huge, and they have plenty of water, and nobody would answer the phone calls. And they could have saved that whole thing. They could have stopped that whole fire. They could have done everything, right? So then I told Juan about it, and Juan said, let me talk to him. Well, they've got the same bond issues because remember how you just keep increasing the bonds for schools, but it's just going in their pockets?
right.
Same as all this aid to all these nations, but it's just going in their pockets.
Mhm.
The same thing is happening in the water bonds. The same thing is all these bonds that they put on the election ballot. Don't we need a little more money, and then your schools will be in better position. All of this is a lie. And so he had an attorney working on the school bonds, and I put all the water bond people in with him. And do you know what they had to back down off of it? I think they were threatened because they were going to get it all cleaned up, and they told people what they were doing.
Wow.
And you can't, in California, you still can't tell the people what you're doing, but Californians do not want this stuff. There's no way 6.6 voted for spending 260 million for this election and now millions